So this question is question number 4 out of the 2022 SAC, and even though it says by exploring discriminants, I might have a little play with the slider to see if I can see what's happening. We have one parabola, which is a of x, we have a second parabola, which is b of x, and we have a straight line. And the straight line has a y-intercept of -3, so we're wanting to build a road that doesn't hit the lake, therefore can be built. And the question I'm interested in really is when it changes to mx -3, or m can be any particular value. So without going into too much detail, exploring the discriminant so that the paths cross each other. Okay, so if I look at one of the parabolas equal to, so this is a of x equal to the straight line, I get this discriminant. If I set that equal to 0, I get m equals -7 and m equals 1. And if I set the upside down parabola equal to our line, this gives me this discriminant, and that gives me m equals 0 and m equals 8. So now I know my values of m. What I might like to do is to graph it all. So if I go edit clear all, okay, and pick up my lake, and pick up my other lake, and I've got my straight line, which is here. So what I'd like to do is to make keyboard math3 given variables m equals -7. And that's not going to be any good, while it does touch the blue. So how about we talk about m equaling 1? That's much better. So m equals 1, but remember this m is the gradient. So I don't want it being bigger than 1. So if I go m.5, 1.5, that's no good because I want it to be in between them but not touching. So I could have 0.9. Okay, so I'm wanting less than 1 for m, but not down to -7. And if I look at the other values, I've got 0 and I've got 8. So if I put a 0 in, that's good. So if I put 0.1, it's going to be in between the two bodies of water. And I certainly don't want 8 because 8's going to have it being very, very, very steep and touching. So I'm wanting m going from 0 to 1, and I don't want to include it. The second part of the question has n, where n is this vertical line. So if I just have I can drop my parabolas. And if I had n equaling 0, that's no good because it would cut through the water. So I want it to be somewhere horizontal here. And I know that y coordinate is -3. So -3 will be too low. So I'd like -2.9. And that's going to be, okay, so it's going to be above. -2.9 is good. I'd like to find what this y coordinate of the turning point is. Analysis, G-solve minimum of that one, yes, and it's -1.25. So if I have -1.25, I can see that that's also going to be touching. So I want it between -3 and -1.25. So for example, -2, bingo, -1.5. Beautiful. So I want n between -1.25 and -3, but to not include them.